Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the world. Ali Madawi in here. And in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about 10 rules to staying rich. I've learned these from the great Grant Cardone, and I kind of improvise some of them for my own lifestyle, for my own way of doing things. And I wanted to share with them with you today for one main reason. There are a lot of people who have a very bad relationship with making money. And hey, I know this is going to welcome a whole lot of troll and a lot of haters because every time I talk about money, there's one knucklehead that says something ridiculously crazy. But I promise you, you apply these 10 rules, you will have a long, happy life, not only with money, but rich in every other element with your life. So here we go. This is the ME Show.
Girls on me, on the dance floor, all eyes on me. Who will see? Man, you better come get your girls out. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP. All eyes on me, yeah, where the girls are. This is high on the night to be. All eyes on me,
all eyes on the prize, money supersized. G5 super fly, should be supervised. Do or die, open up your eyes, head to the sky. Keep a mean bad mommy on the side. Make a tsunami, kamikaze on the mind. Spit flow, paparazzi flash shine, get dough. Champagne, Merlot, cash and tango. In the VIP, now she wanna touch her ankle. Get low, mueve mami como el dembow. All eyes on me, peeping through the window. Get mine, get yours, believe it or not. In the meantime, I'ma keep my eyes on the
all
top.
eyes on me, drinks on me, girls on me, on the dance floor. All eyes on me, who will see? Man, you better come get your girls out. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP. All eyes on me, yeah, where the girls are. This is how your night should be.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, entrepreneurs from all around the world. Great, incredible, amazing human beings. Wherever you may be around the world, let me know where you're chiming in. What is your name and why should I connect with you? My name is Ali Madawi, and I am your host with the Avocado Toast, a.k.a. your strategic partner, a.k.a. the man is going to give you the goodies about the 10 rules to staying rich. Why did I decide to do this? Because there are a lot of people who have not only a bad relationship with money, but at the same exact time, that relationship that they have with money trickles into their dreams, trickles into their relationships, trickles into their business foundation, and they end up ruining and sabotaging their business before it even takes off. Heck, I've done it myself. Why should you care and take a listen? Well, I help struggling entrepreneurs and companies to leverage social media and the digital space to create brand equity and revenue. And I've scaled a gazillion companies over the years. We've done about $2 billion in overall sales since 2011. And we've done it in 5 different languages. I've written a couple of books. We've done TEDx. We do about 50 to 100 conferences a year, whether it is virtual or in person. So I want you to take a look at where you are right now and allow me to pour a little bit of love, a little bit of goodness, and let me know in the comment where you are from. Here we go. 10 rules of staying rich. And that's right, I'm staying organized in here. I'm not doing bullet points just to make sure at least it keeps me on flow with my communication with you. Number 1, don't spend tomorrow's money. See, in many cases, especially notoriously in the network marketing profession, we get a little bit of money. We're like, oh my God, mama, we made it. Let's go buy a car. Let's go buy a house. Let's get out of our job. Let's do X, Y, and Z, and so on and so forth. And what ends up happening, the individual himself or herself spend the money they could have potentially used for some incredible opportunities, for investments, or for upgrading their websites, or whatever the case may be. And you'll understand what I mean in just a little bit when I say don't spend tomorrow's money. My wife adjusted that for me a little bit, and she says, don't spend money you don't have. What she usually means by that, because I'm a visionary, I'm a business developer, I see greatness, abundance, and growth, and I'm always, well, we have these clienteles, and here's what we are expecting to collect in the next 30 days. And she will always say, right, that's what you're expecting. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, because things do happen in business, right? Especially the early stage of a company, the higher risk that company is going to have financial issues. And that's totally okay. So don't spend money you don't have, and definitely don't spend tomorrow's money. Did you know the number one reason why somebody tells you, I don't have money to start a business, or I don't have money to invest on a program or coaching or whatever it may be? It's not that they don't have money. They figured out how to make some kind of income, revenue, or paycheck, right? It's that they don't have a good relationship with money. Therefore, they don't actually budget their life or their business. So if you were to just simply take this very simple formula, take your state of affairs, your bank statement for the last 30 days, and look at how much money you spent versus how much money that came into the account, and you will realize there's a little bit of either leftover excess or you are overspending. Regardless, that'll allow you, one, to make an adjustment, but two, what is that leftover money after all of your habits, good or bad, right? Let's say it's $300 a month. What are you doing with that $300? Do you just say, let's go out, I have an extra $300 and blow it? Or do I put that money into a crypto account so it has potential to grow, or just a good old savings account and let it sit in there every single month, 300, 300, 300. By month 4, you would have $1,200, which would allow you to invest in a program, would allow you to invest in a company, would allow you to do so many different incredible things that will expand and grow your goal into the riches that you want to achieve. And by the way, riches isn't just money. Riches in abundance, riches in stress-free lifestyle, riches in relationships, riches in experiences. And in the time-space reality that you and I live in, you need money in order to be doing that. If you don't believe me, ask your mosque, synagogue, church, nonprofit organizations. Say, why do you keep raising money? That's because even if it's just noble thing and it's not about the money, they still need money to finance those dreams and hopes and aspirations. Number 2, the 40-40-20 rule. You ready for this? 40% should go to the tax governing agency. In the United States, we call it the IRS, right? Internal Revenue Services. So I keep 40% of my money, regardless of how much I have to pay or lack thereof for taxes. 40% goes to the side for taxes. 40% gets immediately reinvested for our business, whether it's operational costs, whether it is to expand, whether it is to increase some area or another, but 40% of the money we make goes right into our company every single month, non-negotiable. It's like a use it or lose it kind of a behavior. If I don't have something that's going to be utilized or bought or purchased, I will look for where can we grow, where can I add more fuel, who can I give more money to, who can I increase their paycheck or whatever the case may be. So amazing stuff that I do with that 40%, right? The last but not least is 20% is for you. I know it's scary, right? I live on 20% of my income. I talk about it, I brag about it. I am humble enough to say that I drive a GMC Terrain. I love things, don't get me wrong. I love, my wife probably makes me look really, really good. I love watches, but I don't buy them. My wife always hooks me up, right? I love collectibles. I don't buy them. My wife hooks me up. Like, I love stuff too, just like everybody else, but I love experiences more. I love to travel like a baller with my family, first class, and I like to get the high-end suites because of the experience that I create and I have with my family. I love to do that stuff. But on a day-to-day, if I'm home, I live on 20% of my income. And that is by design. Now, sometimes, and many of you, when I talk to you, like, dude, how am I going to live on 20% of my income? Well, start by living on 90% of your income and apply the other rules that I told you with just 10%. And the better you get with money, then start making an adjustment from living on 90%, start living on 80%, and then 70, and so on and so forth. The problem is we are not disciplined enough to make the right motion, the right behavior, or the right adjustments so we can get to the promised land. We think that it should happen overnight. I either get rich right now and my life is fixed, or I am broke forever. That does not happen that way. Jeff Bezos did not become the first and or second richest man in the world overnight. It took him close to 30 years to develop where he is. Mark Zuckerberg developed other programs and innovating things before Facebook. Tesla, that did not happen overnight. It had so many trial and errors, and it still is happening right now. So you must accept the idea that I have to fail before succeeding. I got to drop a little bit of successful milestones. It's not going to happen overnight. So 40, 40, 20, 40 for the governing agency for your taxes, 40 for your business, and 20% for you to live on. If you can't write it off, this is the next one. If you can't write it off, don't buy it. Everything I personally purchase is immediately a write-off because I am in the entrepreneur tax bracket. I'm not in the employee tax bracket. See, as an employee, I am extremely limited. As a matter of fact, there's barely anything that I can write off. The United States government allows you right now up to $27,000 of claims of expenses for whatever it is. Most people don't even reach a third of that, which is totally okay. But for me, I like Walmart money. What do I mean by that? It's not about the trillions or the billions. No, I like to make sure that I give the government what belongs to them, but I keep what's belonging to me rightfully, ethically, and legally, right? Give the Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give God what belongs to God. I believe that I have an ethical, moral code that I send government taxes every quarter. I intentionally send projected taxes, and then I get a fat tax return that, assuming everything operates the way we have been operating legally and ethically. And by the way, I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm telling you what I've done and what has worked for me and my business and my family, right? So by doing that, it allows me to be in control of how much taxes legally and ethically am I able to save on or pay, because I'm an entrepreneur and I operate with cash flow. I operate with business development. I operate with budgets, right? So it's extremely, extremely important for you to understand that. I'll give you one little example. And listen, I don't care if you love the guy or hate the guy. I'm not here about political views. Remember when Donald Trump was running for office and then everybody was picking on him about the idea that he only paid $700 of taxes as a billionaire? And he said, I understand the tax code and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to do what's right for my businesses. And rightfully so, he takes advantage of write-offs. See, Donald Trump, the building, the Trump Tower that he lives in, and again, please, trolls, I love you. I don't care what you say in the comment. I don't care if you love him or hate him. I'm not here to talk about the political views. I'm using the example of the financial entrepreneurial side of life, right? So he bought a whole building, the Trump Tower, and he lives in it by collecting the rent from everybody else. So that whole building, including that multi-million-dollar suite, penthouse suite that he lives in that is made of gold, he is not actually paying for it. Someone else is, and it's a write-off for him. See, you got to understand how that works. So if you can't write it off, don't buy it. And by the way, make sure you communicate again with a CPA, a professional that can advise you on how to structure your business for the best tax write-off advantages that are available for you in your city, state, and or country. Next is, this is crazy and a little bit controversial, but I'm sharing with you what I've done. Rent, don't buy. Rent and lease, don't own. Now, I owned a house for 13 years because when we bought it, I didn't know, I wasn't even an entrepreneur at the time. And then we went on for a second home. And then we went on for a third home. Right now where I'm at, I am renting. I'm not buying. And I was wondering all the time, why would Grant Cardone, the guy who has a $2 billion portfolio of real estate, talk about rent? Because he rents. And here's why. Number one, it gives me the ability to decide, where do we want to live next year, babe? That's what I talk to my wife. And my wife and I are literally having these conversations, like as we speak, about, do we want to go to Texas? Do we want to go to California? Where do we want to live next? Where would it make sense for us and our family and our business? We work from home anyways. We want to homeschool our kids anyways. So the idea of us having the ability to make decisions is great. Number two, I know for a fact that the moment I purchase that home, unless you have specific certifications, and there are a lot that goes into it to truly, truly own that house, you don't own it. You don't. It's the bank. The bank now is your landlord, and God forbid, your financial situation is a little bit out of whack. It may be a little bit challenging for you. So anyways, that's a different conversation. I'm not here to talk to you about real estate, but I hear you. For those of you who are saying buy to flip, rent to live, 100%, I feel you on that. That's the new decisions that we've made in 2023. Next step or next rule to staying rich is stabilize and grow what you have before you add more. Now I'm going to talk to you, dear fellow network marketers. The one thing that I hear a lot in the network marketing space, and I get it, listen, I totally understand it, and I agree with you. I hear you got to have multiple sources of income. I hear the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. Heck, I have multiple sources of income, but I started with one and I mastered that sucker. I made sure that it was so good and on cruise control that if everything else that I'm passionate about doesn't work out, I'm still in a very good financial place. So make sure you master one, because if you were to say, all right, I'm not even making $100 a month from this one, but I'm going to add 6 more so I can make $600, what you've done is a rookie mistake. And that is, you are given a 6 or 6, anyways, let's call it a third of your attention to each one of those projects. So you're not giving 100% to any of it. Therefore, don't expect an ROI because you're not sold out. I want to be all in hardcore on one source of income until I get it to cruise control. And then I will add something to it that is complementary to it. See, at Medawi Enterprise, it was just coaching at first. Then it became group coaching. Then it became public speaking. Then we added a podcast that we monetized. Then we added a vlog that we monetized. Then we started to get hired to consult to corporations. Then we went on and bought a social media management company. Then we went on to partner up with a VA company. Then we went on to partner up with a funding company. Then we went on to buy a digital solution company. See, it all goes hand in hand. Then we added a PR firm. It all adds to that very same thing that we started with, because one is feeding and fueling the other. And this is why you gotta get one on cruise control. Then you can add one more. The person who's telling you gotta have 7 sources of income, here's my question to you. How much are you making in one? Is it full time, or are you still falling into the trap of I'm broke in 6 different projects? And let me just add one last piece. For those of you who try to force somebody, and I love my guy JJ on Instagram, he did a whole interview on this, and he was talking about understand, I would never tell anybody to quit their job. Just stick with your job and add other businesses to it. Unless you hate that job, do not leave it unless you are replacing it with something that is paying you 2 to 3 times as much. And if you are going to leave that job, you need to make sure that you have at least 1 year worth of money in case that business or job is not going to work out for you. So I am an advocate of stay in your lane, homie. And once you get the money that you need for a year straight, assuming what you are doing is not working out, then you can identify and figure out other things. So again, make sure that you are stabilizing and growing what you have before you add more into it. Next is the 47 rule. Give 40 hours to your job or to your traditional business, 7 hours to personal growth. I insist on personal growth. I know it's a cliche thing that we hear about in the business community, especially online coaches, and everybody's a guru nowadays. And also for the network marketing space, everybody talks about personal development, but it stays there. Everybody just talks about it. What book are you reading right now? Let me know in the comments. What audiobook are you listening to? Who are you following that is actually giving you information that you are applying, not just listening to and watching? I don't care if you're just scrolling and you're justifying it for finding a motivational video that you can repeat somewhere else. No, what are you implementing right now? What are you putting in your brain right now that you're going to turn into a profit center, that you're going to turn into an actual advocate of greatness, that you're going to apply and impact somebody else with? So 40 hours for your business, your job, your whatever it is that you're doing, and 7 hours is for personal development, non-negotiable. That's about an hour a day. And if you tell me I don't have time, you lie. Because when you're driving, going to that job, you're listening to garbage. When you are sitting at nighttime and scrolling, looking at, booty shaking girls or, whatever weird cat videos, you could have been listening to something that will help you, or reading something that will help you. That's right. I'm here to call you ass out for a little bit. You need it. You need it every now and then. Okay. Next is always stay broke. Now I'm getting your attention, right? Because we're talking about the 10 rules of staying rich. Why in the world am I telling you always stay broke? Here's what that means. Always spend money on your business. If you are leaving money in the old school bank, you are losing money, depreciation, inflation, all the things that are happening right now. A dozen of eggs is $7 to $12. That's right, $12 in the United States of America right now. A dozen of eggs, when a gallon of milk is more expensive than a gallon of gasoline, petroleum, for crying out loud, it needs to remind you, I got to do something different. Now, yeah, sure, we got to add more resources or another source of income, but you can start at home right now. So making sure that you are investing your money, because the more you invest, automatic, by law of universe or by law of business, there's always an ROI that you should anticipate and expect to come back to you, assuming you are doing everything else that I'm sharing with you. Folks, entrepreneurship is the hardest thing you will do. It is not easy. And I don't care if you're a network marketing company or it's only 2 legs. You only have to put 2 people on the left and 3 people on the right, and we're all going to get rich. Bull. I call bull. Entrepreneurship is not about a sales position, because as a network marketer, you're just a salesperson. That's not a business. When you are able to develop profit and losses and projections and understand how to create a marketing campaign and understand how to do operations and understand how to run a whole organization and understand how you're going to lose 20% of your business and you need to increase it more. When you are able to put all the puzzle pieces together to create the perfect picture, then I'll call you an entrepreneur. Until then, you're a glorified sales rep. And I'm not disrespecting you. I love network marketing. I've been a network marketer since 2011, and I'm still going, actually 2010, and I'm still going at it. Oh my goodness. 2009, holy guacamole. And I'm still going at it. I love it. It's amazing. But I'm an entrepreneur who also loves and enjoys the concept of network marketing because of the impact and the speed of cash flow that it can create. If you are just a network marketer, congratulations. I'm glad you figured it out. You are able to make amazing money, but I wouldn't call you an entrepreneur just yet. I hope that's okay, that we can have that honest conversation. Next is never lose money. And if it is just sitting in the bank, you are losing it. Never lose money. I am notorious. I mean, I am horrible when it comes to money. If my wife is not in charge of our bank account and our card and the decisions that I make financially, I ruin it. My wife, her favorite thing that we talk about all the time, you love to swipe that card. If it was up to you, you'll just keep saying to everybody, I'll buy it for you, right? And she's right. That's one of my weaknesses. I love to treat everybody. I love to buy stuff for people, right? But that also leads for irresponsible behavior with my relationship with money by just giving it all away or not appreciating how hard I've worked for it. Because it's not about, oh, it's only $100. No, it's about how much work did you put to earn that $100, right? To some of us, it may be 5 minutes. To others, it may be a full shift of 8 hours. So whatever it is in terms of how much you work to earn that, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're bad with $100, you're going to be bad with $1 million. So make sure you never, ever, ever lose money. Number 9, you want cash flow, not cash. Cash flow is repeated and accumulated over a period of time, and there's a system that is continually creating it. Whether it's daily monetization, whether there's a webinar, whether there's the collaboration, whether there's a job, whether there's a funding line of credit, whatever that may be, you need cash flow. Working capital is the lifeline of your business. Not marketing, not being a great speaker, not an influencer, none of that garbage matters. You need to have cash flow. And I say this again, because in this day and age, if you don't got money, you're not going to buy food. You're not going to buy whatever you need. You can go all day and say, I'll give you tomato for potato. That's what happened 400 years ago. In this day and age, in the modern world that we live in, you need finances in order to invest and create and buy and upgrade. And if you're not putting yourself in a position where there are finances available, cash flow available, sooner or later, you're going to put the brake. And you just killed whatever time period of work that you've done. You just interfered and interrupted with the success that was just about to happen. But because of bad behavior or bad projections or a whole lot more, now you know why I say, if you're a network marketer, with all due respect, you're not an entrepreneur yet. It doesn't mean that you don't have potential. You're not on your way, but sales is only one piece of an entrepreneurial journey, okay? So cash flow, not cash. Last but not least, never quit until you achieve your goals. Never quit until you achieve your goals. I just told you it's going to be hard. I just told you it's going to be challenging. I just told you it's the hardest thing that I've ever had to do, because I continually have problems that I take from you and solutions that I give on to you. And I have to always develop myself. And at the same time, I have to be a good husband, a good father, a good partner, all the different roles that I play for different people, a good consultant, a good marketer, a good all of these things. But that means that I continually have to learn every opportunity that I get. The less amount of education that I pour onto myself, the least valuable I will be for whomever I'm in business with or whomever the clientele that we have. And until you are at peace with the idea that it's okay to be rich. I talked to you last week about the number one reason we are not successful has nothing really to do with these fundamentals that I'm telling you right now, but rather our self-image. We don't see ourselves worthy of the riches, of wealth, of greatness. We don't see ourselves able or capable to creating greatness for the world. And by default, we justify not doing these 10 steps and many other plethora of steps and projects and opportunities and day-to-day income producing activity. We justify and we blame the government, and we blame the uplines, and we blame the leaders, and we blame the wife and the husband and all these different things. Look in the mirror. It's you. You are the only reason why you are rich, or you are the only reason that you are broke. Period. I believe in God too. Trust me when I tell you, I believe in the God. But I do know that God is going to give me the opportunity. I still have to do my part and seize it. Because inside of each one of us, including myself, there is good and bad. I choose the good. I choose to do the right thing. I'm not perfect. I've done many bad things many times over the years. Thank God I've never been in jail, never sued, never been sued. Thank God. Squeaky clean. You can Google me, right? But one thing that I will tell you, I take full responsibility with God-given talent that I have. It is my responsibility to activate it. It's like cannabinoids. There's 9 different pieces, but if you don't give it CBD, they are dead. They are irrelevant. I know. I don't know why I'm most time talking to you about CBD. I'm not in any CBD business right now. But the point being, you are to take full responsibility with the wealth that you are creating. And I didn't say could create, might create, have potential to create, that you are creating. The difference between you and now and in the future is that vision that you have is coming into true reality and manifestation. My question to you, what vision are you seeing? Because I see abundance. I see a billy. I see billions of dollars, because those billions of dollars, they're not about me and buying stupid stuff. They're about the abundance that is going to create for everybody else, the recirculation of that money for everybody else. Because when my business is thriving, my staff is thriving, my companies are thriving, my partners are thriving. All of the above will be great if you take responsibility of your own greatness. Responsibility as a word means the ability to respond. The moment you take responsibility out of your bloodline, out of everything who you are, by default, you are crippling yourself. You are handicapping yourself. So look in the mirror, say, I got what it takes. I am he, or I am she. I'm the greatest that's ever been. Be the Tom Brady the world needs to see. That's right. We're taking Mahatma Gandhi's quote and we're changing it about Tom Brady. Tom Brady was 186th pick on his draft, who's, I wouldn't say by rings the most fulfilled, but arguably modern day the greatest of all time when it comes to national football team. And he went to the owner and the staff of the New England Patriots when he got drafted, 186th. And he looked at them and he said, I am the greatest decision you've ever made. Now, some would say that's cockiness. Some would say that's arrogance. He already knew that he was Tom Brady that we see today. You just didn't see it. He just didn't have the talents developed just yet. He needed to create the amazing human being on and off the field that we see today. He needed to create the leader that we see on and off the field today. So for that, he needed to develop and learn every single day. He needed to fail before he succeeded. He needed to lose before to win. What are you doing right now? What decisions are you going to make today? I hope that I inspired you enough or pissed you off enough that you say, screw this guy, I'm going to prove him wrong, and I'm going to do it my way. Whatever floats your boat, homie, go and do you. What I do know about you is that you have greatness, and you are the only person that can activate it. Not me, not a book, not anything else, but we are just tools that are around you, and whatever you take, God willing, you're going to leverage and use for the proper way. So I'm praying that I gave you what you need. I hope that you see the gift that God has blessed you with. And until next time, peace out, everybody.